My prayer for you is that when you're facing your fears, you'll be living your faith. Fears all left to themselves become so powerful they will control us. But when we confront our fears with our faith in the living Lord God, well, we can be like a David confronting Goliath. When we can see Goliath for what he is and what he's not. Goliath did not have the power to control David or the future of Israel if the people would stand up in faith and pursue that with a commitment. Standing with me is Jack Grantham and his son Aaron. And Jack has just been through a life challenge. Just a couple of weeks ago, he was in a life or death situation in the middle of a heart attack. And while in the midst of the heart attack and feeling kind of like Dante's Inferno,
yes,
you felt the presence of God being with you. Jack, how would you describe it?
Well, at the moment that the pain set in, I knew that I was going to be tested with my faith. For almost 2 hours, I had massive heart failure. The hospital personnel worked on me. I kept fading in and out, but I knew the whole time that Jesus was with me. I got to the point where I had carried the pain. I felt like I was carrying the cross. I asked Jesus, I told him, Jesus, either take me or put me back. I could not take the pain any farther. Jesus reached down and said, son, come back home. I came back home to my family. I was never scared. I knew his presence was there with me, and I give all the glory and thanks to God for giving me more time with my family and my children and my church family. And I appreciate the prayers so much. It just lifted my spirit, and it just made me understand more God is alive and he is here with us. All we have to do is open our hearts and hold out our hand, and he will lift us up. And I did walk through the valley of the shadow of death, but I knew he was there with me. And I thank God for it, and I thank my church family for it.
When you walked in the sanctuary this morning for worship, because we've just come from our Sunday morning worship service, Jack, you inspired my heart by just your courage and how you've trusted the Lord in the midst of your life or death situation. If death was what would come, you knew that you were with the Lord.
Yes.
And if he was going to restore your health and give you the strength to move through, then you were ready to live all the more for him. Aaron, you're an inspiration, just in the strength of how you live your life in light of your dad's illness and your faithfulness together as a love for each other as a father and a son. And so it is that my prayer for you, that whatever the Goliath is in your life, whether it's a heart attack, whether it seems to be a challenge that's happening in your workplace or with family, or when you look in the mirror and you just doubt if you're a winner, know that God is looking at you and knows you by name and makes you a winner through the power of his might. Enjoy then, living by faith, even when facing your fears, for then you will see what God can do.